This week on the podcast, we're joined by comedian Laura Festa, and we've written songs about M3GAN.
Hello, and welcome to the Royds Review Podcast. I'm Rob.
And I'm Andy.
And we are back once again talking about 2022's M3GAN. And we are joined by very funny comedian Laura Festa. Thank you for joining us, Lauren.
Thanks for having me, guys. Excited to talk about this movie.
Absolutely hyped to talk about it. And Andy, how are you?
I'm good, Robbie. How are you?
I'm doing well. Lauren, we are so happy to have you. Can I open up the show by... This might make you feel uncomfortable or awkward, so I'm going to start off right. Making our guests uncomfortable off the bat. That's how we do it. I'm really excited to have you on the show for a big reason. I'm going to tell you why. My father thinks you are hysterical.
Your father knows me?
Yes. Yes,
Is your father the number one podcast listener?
No. He stopped listening a while ago. But he has seen you and I do a few shows, and every time he mentions how funny you are, and when I told him you were on the podcast, he got excited.
Oh, yay. Oh, I love your dad. I have no memory of him, but I love your dad.
So I just wanted to tell you off the bat, my father finds you funnier than he finds me.
I love it. I love doing that to men. I love making their dads
my dad has told me after multiple comedy shows, Rob, I know you like your comedy. I really wish you'd stick to music.
Oh, dads.
Lauren, can you go ahead and tell our listeners where they can find you on the socials and any shows you may have coming up?
Yeah, on social, I'm at Lfest across all platforms, not to be confused with the British Lesbian Festival that exists. They are Lfest official. I'm just Lfest the girl. But yeah.
I am Lfest.
I was Lfest first, tried to get them to pay me for the handles. They didn't reply to my DM.
Damn.
But yeah, so I'm Lfest on social. I just had put a new clip up on TikTok that's doing okay, so that's cool. But yeah, my next show, next week I'm out in Southampton at Six and Stones Comedy Club on Saturday night. If anyone's bored and wants to take a drive out to the Hamptons, I'll be there. Yeah, cool.
All right, excellent. So you go ahead. You follow Lauren on all the socials. She is very funny.
Thank you, and thank your dad for me. So
this one he'll listen to. We have a good guest this week. That's what he tells me. I'll listen on the good guests. Thanks, Dad.
Okay.
Lauren, is it all right if Andy and I ask you a couple questions so our listeners get to know you?
Yeah, go for it.
Andy, would you like to go first?
Sure. Lauren, what would you say your top 3 favorite musical acts are?
Musical acts. I feel like I like Throwing It Back. Like growing up, I was really obsessed with the band Say Anything, and I did go to their reunion tour last year. So like foundationally, that. I got very into Noah Kahan because of like TikTok. So I feel like that's been a thing. He's been someone I'm listening to a lot lately. And then I really like Jess Glynn. So yeah, I'm all over the place with music.
Cool.
And of course.
Cool. Number 4 is probably The Royds.
And of course, Rob's music. So.
Yes! Yeah, Rob's music, Andy.
Just Rob's songs. Got it.
Yes!
I mean, it's fine. It's fine.
We have performed together, Rob and I, so.
That is true.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I will cry in the shower, but
that's nothing new.
No, that's standard.
Like every day.
Standard Andy stuff. Yeah.
First off, does anyone know what the plural of mongoose is for my first question?
Mongoose?
All right, sure. Lauren, how many mongoose do you think you could take in a fight?
I'm actually, I feel like that's not a great question for me, because I'm terrified of them. I'm scared. I would not do well. Like one would have me beat, I feel.
I'm sorry, I meant the bicycle brand.
Oh.
Mongoose, yeah.
Got
That's
it.
my bad.
Would we pluralize those? I don't
I'm going off what you said.
In a fight, falling off of one, I do fear that I would crumble, perish immediately. It depends on the incline, maybe. Like if they're coming down at me, I think one could have me out, you know?
That's a fair point.
Yeah, I'm all about elevation.
So either way, you're not gonna fare well. Bicycle or critter, you're not doing well.
Not well.
Okay.
I don't think there are a lot of people I could beat in a fight. I'm pretty much a pacifist, so.
I mean, you could almost definitely take Robbie and I.
Oh yeah.
Right. Another reason your dad will like me more than you.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Real quick, like, do you guys remember Razor scooters and how they were like really big when we were a kid?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I begged for one for Christmas, and my parents got me a Mongoose scooter instead.
Okay.
And it was made of plastic. And so it's Christmas morning. I opened it. I was like, oh my God, it's a scooter. You know, it's not Razor, but, you know, it's a scooter, whatever. Take it outside. It's fucking brick out because it's Christmas. I'm riding it. I do one jump. I land on the you know, the board part of the scooter, and it just snaps.
Oh.
And my dad's like, well, that's that. And that was it. That's my story.
I actually only got a Razor scooter. I had been begging for one as well, and my parents just said it was too expensive. And then I was in the supermarket with my mom one day, and I was like running up and down the aisles like an insane child that I was. And there was a shattered glass jar of applesauce on the floor, and I didn't see it, and I slipped on it and sliced my hand open. And the store sent my family a check for like $1,000. My mom was like, now you can get your Razor scooter. And that is how I got my Razor scooter. Still have the scar, still have the scooter. So.
And that's when you found your life's calling. You're going to search for lawsuits.
Every once in a while I think about that. I'm like, I could use a new scooter. So.
You see a Walmart truck trumming, you're like,
interesting.
Yeah. Lauren, what's my second question? Oh, what are your top 3 favorite comedians?
Let's see, top 3 favorite comedians. I'm a big Nate Bargatze fan. I feel like I've loved him for years, and so it's really exciting to see him like blowing up. He's also one of those comics where like I can watch his specials with my parents, and they're like proud of me for being a comedian, you know?
Right. Yeah, he's relatively clean.
Yeah. I always really loved John Mulaney. Like I loved his anecdotal style, and I felt like hearing him do stand-up made me think like, oh, I can do that, you know? Like, so I feel like foundationally, I've said foundationally twice now, but I was always really into him. And then who else do I really like? I mean, I do love Bill Burr. And then for like newer comics, I really like, not newer, but like I really like Beth Stelling. I think she's hysterical. Yeah. So those are some of mine.
Okay. Well, I asked for 3 and you gave me 4. But
I'm sorry.
Let's move on.
I felt weird not saying one woman.
No, I'm kidding.
Lauren, if there was one household appliance or object that you could get rid of forever, for everyone too, what would it be?
I mean, coming off of this movie, I feel no one should have like an Alexa or Google Home or Echo Dot. I don't have them, and I get creeped out by them. So I feel like that is my answer coming off of a rewatch of M3GAN.
That's a good shout.
I
Absolutely.
agree.
You guys, do you have any that you hate? Like blenders, Keurigs? What's up?
Well, see, it's not a matter of what we hate. It's what I'd like to make more difficult for other people. You know, I hate everyone. And our most recent guest before you was Rene Fuentes, other comedian.
Oh, no way.
And he had a great answer. He said dishwasher. And I said, yeah, because I don't have a dishwasher anyway.
Yeah. I hate vacuuming, but at the same time you need it, so.
But if you got rid of a vacuum, you could always just use a dustbuster.
Or
it's even worse.
Yeah, but I'm saying at least there's an alternative.
Right, but like I'm not trying to make my life harder.
You're gonna make everyone's life harder,
including mine.
Yeah,
I don't understand the logic.
Yeah, that's the point of this question. Renee really shot an arrow through it last week when he said dishwasher, and I was like, oh shit, that's right, I don't have one of those. Yeah, I have an answer now.
There you go.
I went on a date with a guy once, and I told him I had just moved into an apartment with a dishwasher, and I was like really excited about it. And he was like, "Man, you're like a rich bitch." I was like, "What?" But so I get the dishwasher hate, but I do find it makes life easier, so I get it.
It's not a matter of hating it; it's a matter of I don't have one, so I don't want anyone to have
Got
one.
it.
Right,
Got it.
right.
I'm sticking with AI.
No, that's
Yeah.
a much better answer.
Yeah.
Because I also don't have it.
I don't- Although I'm like, my Siri is hearing me say this, and she's gonna.
She's
make it-
plotting.
Right? No, I always thank her whenever she does things for me. So,
You got it. You have to.
yeah.
It's my turn, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Lauren, what would you say your favorite movie of all time is?
I have so many. As a kid, and I was just talking about it recently with someone, I was like obsessed with the movie Little Giants because I feel like it has everything like in it as a film.
Little giants are just normal people.
What?
I said little giants are just normal sized people.
I know. Then I thought you meant the show Normal People. I was like, that's a show, Rob, not a movie.
I had no idea. I'll be honest, I've never seen Little Giants. That's the football one, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was like obsessed with it as a kid. And then I really like Inception, and I was like a Warner Brothers intern when it came out, so I had like a million of those little spinner things, and I would just leave them all on
okay.
college campus. I just thought it was like so smart and like new.
Yeah, yeah.
But Little Giants, I think I would still pick in a rewatch. So
Take
Not as
that,
heavy.
Nolan.
Yeah.
I'll pick Rick Moranis any day.
Yeah.
Here's a question that a lot of guests have seemed to hate, so I'm gonna continue with this theme of
Okay.
questioning. Lauren, do your best impression of a squirrel who thinks their neighbor is spying on them.
Okay. No,
Just looking into this angry little squirrel.
yeah, just fuck you. No, I would like throw an acorn at their window.
Okay.
So,
Honestly, I like that you told us, because it would be a bad idea to throw an acorn at your own computer screen.
yeah, I just got this. So, had to get in a car accident to be able to afford it, but
I feel like I just said eggcorn. Eggcorn's a hard word to say. It's not really, but I hate it. Because I always say egg corn, but it's A-C-O-R-N.
yeah, I can't say crayons correctly. I say like C-R-A-N-S instead of like crayon.
I've heard, you're not the first person I've heard say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We talk about crayons a lot at my day job, and it's very embarrassing, like every meeting when someone is like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah, I'm a second grade teacher, so I have to say crayons a lot.
Aw.
But another hard word, forward.
You
know,
always
is
you
it-
always miss that first R.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it forward or forward?
4.
Well, there's two different words.
What?
Well, you can have like the foreword of a book, and then you can move forward.
Aren't they both the same word?
Yeah, I think they're the same word.
I don't know.
I don't think forward is a word.
Hold on, let me ask my Megan.
You know,
She's gone.
I knew it'd just be grown men buying that thing.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
F-O-R-E word is a short introduction to a book, typically by a person other than the author.
Wait, spell that again?
F-O-R-E-W-O-R.
Yeah, that is a word.
Yeah.
We were talking about F-O-W-A-R, because some people
Oh.
yeah. But
Got
you
it.
are correct. But you made us look really stupid there. So
I was like, is this not a word?
you're crushing this.
I would also just like to quickly point out, I'm wearing a red hat, but it's Auntie Donna. It's not. I just feel like you can't wear a red hat anymore. You know.
I
Yeah,
mean,
I was worried. I was like, what did Rob
Yeah.
have me log on to? Oh my God.
I'm gonna be honest. I knew it was safe because it's a yellow logo.
Right, but you never know. You know, I just gotta.
I think it's weird that it's a red hat with a yellow hammer and sickle on it. I'm gonna be honest. I think that's weird.
Listen, I'll take that over the regular MAGA. You know,
Okay.
like,
You
you
know
can call
what?
me a communist, whatever. Like, I'm not gonna take offense to it. You call me a MAGA, I'm gonna be pissed.
Okay.
I love being called a socialist, so here we go.
Yeah, yeah.
Andy,
Yes.
what year did the movie M3GAN come out?
Robbie, I'm thrilled that you asked. It's 2022.
That was 3 years ago.
Robbie, that's the year we started this podcast.
That's crazy. With our very first episode, Jurassic Park.
It's funny you say Jurassic Park.
It didn't seem that funny.
It's hilarious, Robbie.
Okay, shit.
Well, first off, M3GAN is number 27 on the list of top grossing movies of 2022 with $180 million.
And what was its little bird, Andy?
Robbie, I'm thrilled again that you've asked. It was only $12 million according to Wikipedia.
Oh, the Wicker Basketpedia.
Wicker Basketpedia. This movie made bank, which is why they're making another one.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, as I stated earlier, I am a teacher, and kids were obsessed with this movie. They were always doing the dance. And after watching this movie for the first time, I'm concerned.
What dance?
The M3GAN dance that she does in the hallway when she kills the guy from the Daily Show.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm going to jump ahead to the top 5. And number 5 is Minions: The Rise of Gru, which made $940 million. Damn.
Those movies make so much money, and if you ever go to Universal in Orlando, that ride always has the longest wait.
That makes
Minions
sense.
are killing it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Number 4 is Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness with $955 million. Number 3 is previous episode, which is why I said Jurassic Park is funny. Jurassic World Dominion with $1 billion. Jesus Christ.
That movie was diarrhea.
An awful movie.
Yeah, that was the third
Third
Jurassic
new one?
World.
okay.
Yeah, and now there's the
It was
fourth
cool.
Jurassic World Rebirth.
I
Where
know,
the-
new
where-
cast.
Yeah, where the dinosaurs have knuckles.
The Echidna.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Interesting.
Voiced by Idris Elba still.
Wow, that's a crossover. Number 2, Top Gun Maverick with $1.4 billion. Almost
yeah.
1.5. Dang.
Bottom rifle.
Very good.
Yeah.
Number 1 is Avatar: The Way of Walter, which
Oh,
is
my
Rob's
doggy!
dog.
Yeah.
$2.3 billion. Wow.
Wow.
That is a
Wow.
future episode.
Unfortunately, yes, it is.
Unfortunately. Apparently it's good.
They said that about the first one. I don't remember it.
My
That's the
brother
thing.
really liked it, but he said it was like, you know, just like the first one. So,
Yeah, it's what they were like. Whatever. They look cool.
Yeah, that's most movies. They just look cool. Yeah, do they have to be 3 hours? No.
That's the thing. Just sitting for 3 hours is hard.
yeah. I do love the pettiness though of James Cameron, where whenever a movie like knocks Avatar out of contention for highest grossing movie, he will like re-release it.
Yeah, it's like, there's a 30 more seconds of unreleased
Yeah.
footage. People are like, I gotta see it. I gotta see it.
Well, he does the same thing with Titanic too. He's got to have like 3 of the top 5 spots at all time.
He's got to be a billionaire at this point, right?
I think he's lost it all in his divorces.
Yeah.
That's true.
Are you guys ready to talk about M3GAN from 2022?
Sure is.
This movie opens up with a commercial for these horrifying toys, the perpetual pets. And my first thought when this movie started, I got pissed because I didn't realize this was part of the movie. I had never seen this before. And an ad started playing on a movie I had rented through Prime. And I was like, fuck this. I'm not sitting through commercials when I pay to rent a movie now. But I was wrong.
You were wrong. You were wrong,
Man,
Rob.
it turns out sometimes you just need to take a deep breath.
You know, I got. That's good words to live by.
Yeah, because my
That's
TV.
what M3GAN would tell you to calm down. So.
Yeah, my TV has a remote in it.
I liked the vibe of the commercial. I was like, okay, we're gonna be in for like a really, like, over-the-top, silly type horror movie. But it kind of, like, immediately becomes a pretty dour affair. Like, right after this commercial, it's like, oh, okay, it's not the kind of movie I expected.
No, I mean, that is maybe, I don't know if that's for the better or the worse of the movie, but the tone is all over the place.
So one of the reasons I love this movie so much is because they changed the tone after it was finished. Like, you guys know the history of that, right? Like, the movie wasn't supposed to be a big release, and then in test screenings, they saw that kids were obsessing over it. Yeah. So they, like, re-edited it to make it have more kid appeal. And, like, so a lot more people were, like, died in the original because they wanted to be able to bring it down to PG-13.
Yeah,
so I feel like that's part of why the tone is all over the place, because they had done a horrifying horror movie, and then they're like, but let's make it cool for kids. So
yeah, originally it was like gory and stuff.
Yeah, like everyone at that event died originally, I think.
Yeah.
I should just, we are doing, or at least Andy and I watched the theatrical release. I don't know if, Lauren, did you watch the unrated version?
No, I was too scared.
Okay.
But I work in marketing, so when this movie was coming out, I was reading all these articles about how it was like this sleeper hit for the studio because they did not think, they like had no clue teenagers were gonna go nuts for it.
That's crazy, because this is a movie right off the bat, like in the ads, like this looks like something that's right up teenagers' alleys. A creepy doll?
Yeah.
I find this movie is a mixture of Child's Play and Terminator. I feel like they just smashed those two movies together, and you got M3GAN.
Child's Play's Chucky, right?
Yes.
Never seen it.
Chucky Finster.
Oh, from Rugrats.
Yeah.
The little dweeb.
Yeah. Robbie.
Punt that little shit across the street.
Yo. Yo.
You had no mom. You're so mean to him. He's just like Cady in this movie.
He's bringing down Tommy like hell.
Well, Tommy needs to be brought down. He's a psychopath.
No, Tommy is the
He tried to kill his brother. So.
Oh, little Dill?
Yeah.
This is the Rugrats podcast now.
Sorry.
Legit though, they had a great line on the Rugrats once where they're running around naked and they're like, you can't do that. And one of the moms goes, face it, the 60s are over and we lost. And like, that's just a line I think of every now and then.
It's a good line.
Yeah. Cady and her parents are driving up to a hill so they can go skiing or whatever, and she's playing with her perpetual pet. This toy's voice is annoying, and I get this is supposed to be like a Furby parody, but we're also like 20 some odd years out from the Furby, so maybe we're a little late on the Furby parodies here.
Yeah, I think it's just, you know how like everything is becoming a smart thing?
Yeah.
Like you got smart fridges. Oh, sign up for a subscription and like pay $7 a month and your toy will talk to you. I think that's more what they're going. I think it's just, in the form of a Furby. But okay. I think generally it's more about how everything's AI driven and it adapts to you. Shut up. I just want a refrigerator. That's all I want.
I liked the dad's line in that first scene where he was like, I don't get it. If it's a toy, why are you playing with it on your iPad? Like, I feel like that.
Yeah. Well, because you could see parents saying that actual sentence to their kids today with actual toys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's like in the video games, and they have the little figurines that you put on the thing. It's like, what? Why do I have to buy figures to play video games?
Yeah.
Yep.
I did like it though, because I always found Furbies terrifying, and like they hurt so many kids when they first came out. Like,
did they?
Well, there was like if you put your it would like bite your finger if you like put it in, and like a few of them like caught fire. So.
All right.
This is hilarious that the dad gets him and his wife killed because he knows jack shit about cars. Like, I don't know a lot about cars, but I know when a car is a 4-wheel drive.
Yeah.
And he's like, I thought it was. It looks like a 4-wheel drive. What does that mean?
4 wheels.
Yeah.
I drive them.
This was a divorce if they survived this.
Oh yeah. Also, how do you not pull over to the side of I get you couldn't see anything, but you just stopped in the middle of a road.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and They get absolutely wrecked by this oncoming truck. I'm surprised Cady even survived this, or is able to walk afterwards.
She's got like a few scuffs and she's good.
Yeah, I like the continuity of at least having her like messed up at the beginning.
Yeah. But like it is literally like a cut here, a cut there. But for the most part, she walked that one off.
Well, they got hit by like a Mack truck, right? Like,
Yeah.
that was, like...
Seemingly, yeah. I was thinking maybe a plow.
Oh yeah, could have been a plow.
Yeah. You know, that car is compact.
Yeah.
Yep.
The perpetual pet was not perpetual after all. You know?
Nice.
You see him walking away afterwards.
He's the only
Cool.
survivor.
Yeah.
We cut to the company that makes perpetual pets, Funky. We meet Gemma. She's working on this super high-tech doll that isn't ready yet, and her associates Tess and Cole are helping her. Her boss, David, played by Ronnie Chang, walks in, and this lady, Gemma, is straight up evil. Because she's like, yeah, and the doll's gonna listen in on children speaking, which was an episode of a cartoon. Probably multiple cartoons, but I've definitely seen this premise somewhere. But if you're designing toys for kids and it's like, no, this is gonna listen in on the children. It's like, oh, you're gonna enjoy Eternal Hellfire.
Yeah, I mean that's
It's a crime.
it's the premise of so
It is a
many
crime.
movies. You know, like Space Odyssey 2001 or 2001: A Space Odyssey. Both
I know
of
what you
them.
meant. Oh,
But like, you know, it's the computers listening to you, and it's like,
but like,
Yeah.
I'm talking about strictly like toys. Like, I really don't care if we listen in on adults. Adults are fucked. But like, you can't be listening in on kids.
yeah, the innocence
Yeah.
of a child. You know, but
Yeah.
I don't know. It's well-worn territory for.
Oh,
movies,
yeah.
is what I'm
Yeah.
saying. So like, I didn't love this. I thought it was like all of this has been done before and better elsewhere. But you know, it's not a bad movie. I was just like, I was expecting more, I think. I don't know.
I feel like knowing like the backstory on it, it was what I expected, and there were a few scenes that I was like, oh yeah, this went viral on social media, and that's why it got like, that's why people went to see it, and then it didn't live up to like that one scene, you know?
Right. And again, it's not bad. It's just like,
Yeah. I do agree though that Gemma is the real villain, because like
Yeah.
Allison Williams is always the villain in things, so I'm just
Right.
like used to like her being evil.
Wait,
So,
is that the actress?
yeah.
Oh, I had no idea.
She
Yeah,
was the. Have you guys done Get Out on the show?
we haven't. No, but she's the
Okay.
girlfriend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she was like Marnie in Girls, so and she was
Yes.
annoying. So I feel
And she was in that cello movie.
oh
was a-
right.
Yeah, with it was a
And she
Netflix
was evil
one.
in that too, right?
I
She
think
would
everybody was
stalk
evil in
somebody?
that one or
Yeah.
something. Yeah, I don't remember. It's one of those forgettable Netflix movies. You know,
Yeah.
you watch it and then it's
But I was not
Think about it
surprised to see her be soulless. Like I was just like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, Allison Williams. Like
she's pretty good at that. She's pretty good
Yeah.
at that. And oh, I forgot.
Well,
Move on.
Well, after she receives the call and it finds out that her sister and brother-in-law are dead, and she takes in Cady, I think they actually do a pretty good job of establishing that she's actually not heartless, because she actually does care about Cady, but she doesn't know what to do, and she never really wanted this. But then it also brings in this weird thing where it's like, why wouldn't you let her go live with her grandparents?
Yeah.
yeah.
I get she's, you know, she's a person who's you know, completely dedicated to her work. That is who she is.
Yeah.
They established that. And then like you throw a kid like, oh, your sister died and you're taking custody of the kid. It's like, okay, I'm not ready for that. I didn't want this. I get that. But like you said, there are other options. But
yeah.
Multiple times throughout the movie, they say to her, like, she could just go live with her grandparents in Florida. And she's like, no, she needs to live in Oregon. Why?
Yeah.
It's no matter what, it's full of weirdos.
And she was also homeschooled, so it's not like she had friends. She
Right.
was
Yeah.
like-
So like that's the thing. Like I like maybe this is to the benefit of the movie, because as I'm watching, I'm like, oh, this is what they're gonna do, and then they don't do it. So like the whole time I'm thinking, and they do it a little bit, but like, okay, this is gonna be a whole, okay, she doesn't want to be a mom, so she'll create a mom, something to raise the kid, which she does.
Right.
But doesn't really focus on that, which is kind of weird.
Well, no, I think it really does. At one point, we really dive into that aspect of it.
Yeah.
Because
Okay,
like they even start calling, they even start calling her out for it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
I also think, to your point, like she said she was doing it for her sister's wishes, but she was doing it to get ahead at work. Like Cady,
Right.
Yes.
like
Right.
symbiotically connected with this toy, and her boss was like, "Keep her around." So she was like, "You can't take her.
Right.
I need a promotion." So
Yeah, and I thought that this is what I thought was gonna happen. The doll would get connected to Cady, which it does, and then really protective, which it does. But then it would see that Gemma is exploiting Cady. So then
Yes.
Gemma becomes the threat, and then and I thought that the movie would end with M3GAN killing Gemma and like a dark victory of sorts, but like it's not. It just turns into like a weird, like she kind of just flips on it. Like at the end of the movie, she's like, "No, I understand what my responsibility is, and I'm sorry." And Cady's like, "I forgive you," and that's it. And I was like, "What?"
yeah, I feel like they've never actually seen a kid obsessed with their iPad, because like most kids would kill their parent for their iPad.
Yeah.
This first night together, Cady wants Gemma to read her a bedtime story. Am I heartless? She seems a little too old for a bedtime story.
She's like 8, right? 7 or 8.
Yeah. Isn't that a little too old for a bedtime story?
No, you read it with them.
Yeah.
You like, I'll take this line, you take that line, you know?
I work in children's books, so I feel like I want more reading in general. So.
Yeah. You're supposed to read
And
with
like
your
her parents had just died. She wanted like to not
Oh,
about
okay.
her
that.
to regress a little bit.
She's like, "Hey, tell me something so I don't think about watching my mother and father die in front of me."
That's a
Rob's
much
like,
better
"You're
point.
too old for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have a nightmare, you bitch."
What do you want, fuck a baby?
Oops.
Just ruminate on the worst moment of your life.
Yeah, yeah.
Like a story.
We meet this therapist lady. She is the worst character in this movie. She comes in and she's immediately judging her about Cady being in her pajamas still.
Yeah.
She-
There's a lot of passive aggression in this
And then
scene.
she goes, "I think we should let Cady lead the session." And then goes, "Hey, Cady, play with this."
Yeah.
So, well, it's not letting Cady lead the session, lady.
Yeah.
I like that in a movie about like a murderous doll and a woman that we all just said was committing a crime. You were like, the therapist was the worst. The woman who wanted Cady to succeed was the worst character.
But like, I don't get what this woman's goal is, because she comes in and she's just nasty to everyone right off the bat. This woman just lost her sister. This girl lost her parents, and she's like, "Why are you in pajamas? Play with this toy." It's like, lady, go into this with a little compassion for both of these people.
I didn't mind her as much. I felt like they needed something, like someone there to be reminding us that Allison Williams, like that Gemma wasn't doing a great job raising Cady, and she served that purpose. She was also the only one who pointed out early how fucked up the doll was.
Yes,
Yes.
She's like, "This is not good."
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. And she even says, she's like, she's gonna get a weird attachment to that. And they're
Yeah.
like, that's good though. That's good for our data.
they're like, "You should be being her parent, not this small
Right.
doll."
Yeah.
This is also where we learn that Gemma and her sister weren't really all that close. Because the therapist is like, "How close are you with it?" She's like, "Ah." It's like,
Yeah, I remember that line. I remember that. Extended. I remember that.
yeah, it was. I thought it was pretty bad writing, but hey, whatever
Yeah.
they're gonna do. I'm not a script writer. Gemma then guilts Cady a little bit, and she's like, "All right, so you just watch yourself. I'm gonna go down the hall and work. Leave me alone."
Yeah. You know, there were a lot of little things that they'd kind of drip feed you throughout the beginning of this movie that it really seems like, and I think it's to what you were saying, Lauren, that there were a lot more R-rated scenes in this movie because they keep showing, like, the neighbor mentions a shock collar. She's using a power washer. The power washer is like the only thing that comes back. But then they keep showing Gemma using a box cutter. Never comes back. It's like, this is very horror movie. Like, okay, that's going to come back at some point. But, like, none of them do. So I'm thinking they probably filmed a bunch of scenes that include these things.
Yeah.
And they just never came to fruition.
Yeah. The only thing that comes back is Chekhov's robot, Bruce.
Loved Bruce.
That's true. Yeah, Bruce
favorite
is
character
he's the
in the
hero.
movie.
Yeah.
Well, here's a weird thing. So after Gemma goes to working in her office for a while, Cady comes in and they start to really bond over Gemma's job. And this is where you get the sense that Gemma's fucking stupid because you create toys and an 8-year-old has just come to live with you. Hey, want to come see me create toys? Boom. This kid's invested and you're bonding. Because right away, the minute she's like, oh, check out my job, she's like, oh, okay. And now they're bonding. Why wouldn't Gemma just think of this?
Right. Or spend any sort of time with her.
That is true. But, like, if you need to work, because she says, like, because we do learn, like, a week has passed at this point, and she hasn't done any work. So I'm imagining, I'm taking that as context that, like, they spent the last week together. But never in that week did you explain to her, I create toys.
Right.
And I think they knew because the sister had been saying like, oh, you know, like the only time she sends Cady anything is when it's like one of her one of her toys, so she's not even spending money on my child. So I feel like they kind of knew. I don't know. But then again, does a child understand what a job is?
Right.
Like, I don't, you know.
No, but like it's just something you bond over, you know? And like if it's toys.
There's even that scene where Cady is like, aren't you going to stop me from, like, isn't that too much screen time? And she's like, screen time? I don't give a shit. Like,
no, I live on a computer.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's, you know, that's a good scene because it's like, okay, screen time gets the kid away from you so you could continue working. But it's also showing like, okay, I don't really give a shit about Cady. Like, it's more about me.
I feel like the movie was almost mean to like software engineers and like people who work in the STEM because it was like, you don't know how to socialize, you don't know how to be a person. Simply because you know by like binary code, you can't know how to speak to a child.
You're a robot.
Yeah. I mean, that is absolutely the idea they give away in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense. I totally get it.
Also, that's one of her coworkers. It's Brian Jordan Alvarez.
I know from the show. English teacher.
Yeah. He's up and coming. He's big time now. They can't bring him back because they killed him in this.
No.
They goofed.
No, he's alive.
He's alive?
Yeah. He and the friend show up at the end and they like get out of the car. Originally,
Really?
I think he was supposed to die. I'm spoiling this. Rob's got to go through the But they show up at the end. He like gets out of the car and is just like,
I
didn't even notice that.
I'm assuming it's the actor who played Cole.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cole.
Okay.
I didn't know who any of these people were other than Ronnie Chang.
Yeah, Ronnie Chang. He's great. I love Ronnie Chang.
I know a lot of them.
For a guy who does a movie
also in Haunting of Hill House, and I was like, this girl's got to be like in therapy. Like, why do you keep putting her in these demented horror movies?
I'm gonna be honest. For a guy who does a movie podcast, I watch very little media. So I'm like, you guys have mentioned Av, like I don't know.
You're absorbing no one's names.
Yeah, no, I get the character names. Yeah, absolutely. That's what this whole podcast is. We did miss a scene earlier. I want to make a quick jump back. When Ronnie Chang first sees M3GAN, and Cole forgot to put a piece in, and she looks like she had a little stroke until her head explodes.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. I think that's what actually happens when you have a stroke. You
know what? Yeah, for sure. I have a question regarding this scene. Ronnie Chang, he mentions like, oh, somebody's gonna make a cheap knockoff, and then they're gonna make all the money. Why don't you patent it?
I mean, Andy, that does nothing. People still get around that all the time.
Isn't that business 101? You patent it?
Yeah, but
you just make a lesser form of it.
Yeah, that's what people do.
like the skip button on Netflix that like all the other streamers have their own version, but it's just not as good. Like,
Yeah, because it's what happens is it's the code that's written into it. So all they do is just write another code that's similar but does the same thing.
Turns out I need to go to Business 101.
So like, well, no, you're correct in your idea, in your thinking. You don't want people to use the exact same code because then it will be legitimately the same thing. But like in stuff like this, you just don't even want the code to get out there because then all someone would have to do make one change in one line of coding.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And get it to do something similar. And it's, I'm not using the same code.
Yeah. And even if it's not as good but cheaper, people will still go for cheaper. You know what I mean?
Right,
So,
right.
They just say
like my Mongoose scooter.
Yeah. You know.
Yeah. Oh, it's all coming back, man.
Yeah, every day's a school day, guys.
That's why you brought up that story.
Yeah.
I had a premonition.
Yeah, the coding in the Mongoose scooters were weird.
Yeah.
We're weird that they put computer codes into that.
Yeah, it was programmed to break.
So Gemma shows Cady a robot she built in college. This is where we meet Bruce, and she shows her off, and Cady is so impressed with Bruce that Gemma's like, well, I have to continue working on M3GAN.
Yeah.
Like, that's the lesson you learned? That's what you took from this, Gemma?
Well, it was also like, if I had this toy, I'd never need another one. And she was like, perfect. I'll destroy the market I work in.
Yeah. This Bruce thing, she made this in college. She's way advanced. Like, she's way far beyond making toys. She could be solving world problems with her.
Yeah.
Isn't that the whole thing with technology? It's like, oh, wow, you're so talented. Make me money.
That's true. Yeah.
You know.
Yep. But the toys are little robots, so it
works. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it connects.
Gemma, Tess, and Cole show David a prototype of M3GAN, and Cady pairs with it using, I don't know, like fingerprint or something like that, and they start playing. This robot draws a picture of Cady using invisible ink. Shut this down.
Yeah.
We're done.
Things using black magic.
Yeah, no.
So quickly.
Yeah.
Look at that.
I mean, David is understandably blown away by the prototype, but I'd also be like, nah.
Well, the thing is, it draws a picture and then it shows the picture and it's blank. And David puts his head in his hands, like it failed. Like, okay, so far this is incredible.
Yeah, I know.
Like, even if that failed, it's like, yo, that robot just talked to this girl and they made a connection. So. Yeah. So far, so great. But then it's magic, and he's like, oh, we're gonna make a billion zillions.
Yeah. Do they ever actually say what the retail price of this toy would be?
$10,000.
Yeah.
Okay. This is not making them as much money as they think it's going to.
Well, yeah, because you'd never need another one, so you're just... They like sell 10 and then no one else buys one.
I don't. Yeah, well, that's the problem. You buy 10, but like, okay, that makes you $100,000.
Like,
that's
some quick math, Robbie.
Yeah, it's very easy math.
This is the biggest issue with the movie so far. Just as a business plan, this doesn't work.
Yeah,
for
this and the therapist. But that's what like $10,000. Like, how many people are gonna buy it? Because listen, my parents weren't buying this for me. Although, as a 12-year-old boy, I would have been begging. Please get me a M3GAN, Daddy.
The markets I would have had to fall in to get one of these.
Yeah. Your hands you'd barely have hands anymore.
Covered.
Yeah.
You'd have to fall off the top of the Bass Pro Shops in Tennessee. Yeah. Like the pyramid.
There's a line where they're like, she's made of titanium and she's built to withstand anything. Why?
I know.
Why would you do that?
Oh,
so
cool.
You can get in a car accident with her, and even though your parents don't survive, the doll will.
Yeah, I guess. It's just what doesn't make any sense.
No. Oh, cool. You made Terminator.
Yeah.
We learn more about M3GAN, and M3GAN starts telling Cady things she should do, including flushing the toilet. Okay, I know I was a little cruel with the, isn't she a little old to blah blah. She's a little too old to not be flushing the toilet.
I give you that one, but I don't work with kids, so I throw it to Andy.
You do have to remind him, because like I do boys' bathroom duty.
That's what you do in the bathroom, Andy.
It's funny because like they'll, it's a bathroom, so it's echoey. So like somebody will fart, and like rather than just like tee-hee and move on, they're like ew, and I'm like, dude, he's in a bathroom. That's where you do this. That's perfectly fine. You shouldn't be judging this boy for farting in a bathroom. Okay, but you got to remind him every single time to like wash your hands. They'll wash their hands and then they'll walk right past the towel thing. Like, yo, you got to dry them now. Like, you got to remind these kids to do every single thing in their life.
Washing hands, I understand. Rhymes.
Very good.
But flushing the toilet, I do not. That doesn't make sense to me. Like, at 8 or 9 years old, now I understand it's Oregon, so it might be like a if it's yellow, leave it mellow situation. Flush your piss.
All right. I will hold my judgment.
Yeah, but I'm willing to bet this family had a leave it mellow sitch, because they were a bunch of fucking weirdos.
Yeah, and again, she's never been to like a school, so like no one but her parents are like seeing her in a bathroom.
Right.
She doesn't have to deal with it.
I have been very cruel to the state of Oregon during this episode, and
It's a beautiful state. Northwest.
I've never been, to be honest. I actually think they should bring a Major League Baseball team to Portland, Oregon, mainly so the Mariners don't have to travel so far. But that's neither here nor there. Nobody cares about my baseball opinions. Let's go Yankees. But I don't think we have any listeners in Oregon. So if you're listening in Oregon and you're getting mad, write to Andy and tell him to fuck off.
I'll take it. Yeah. That's fine. Engagement is engagement.
Yeah. Andy, you're already married.
Yeah, that's true.
Stupid joke. Gemma is starting to think of M3GAN as a parent replacement, and Tess is having second thoughts on that, and understandably so. So Gemma's like neglecting Cady, and Tess is calling her out on that.
Yeah.
Because M3GAN's just raising this little girl. And then M3GAN wakes up while Gemma, Tess, and Cole are talking, and immediately M3GAN's like, "How did Cady's parents die?" Dude, we're done here.
Yeah,
you gotta shut this down. I think this scene's really good. It's super, super tense.
Yeah, it's my favorite scene, I think.
Yeah.
I even like how she's like, "What is death?" And they're like, or no, she says, "Am I gonna die?" And they're like, "Can you turn off?"
Yeah. And this becomes a running thing of them being like, "Shut off," and she's like, "No."
Yeah. I thought we were having a conversation.
Yes, like
she's so good at those little one-liners.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
And then just the fact that she straight up like tells them what she's doing to look up how Cady's parents died, because she really doesn't have to voice that out loud.
Yeah,
but like to me, I read that as like I'm gonna intimidate them.
Yeah, there's definitely something in her code that's like, be creepy as hell.
Yeah.
But it's also like, be transparent so that like they think they'll know what's happening with you when really you're smarter than what you're telling them.
Yeah.
Like that was my take on it. Like,
yeah. Although it just does at the end. I know I'm jumping ahead, but at the end, it doesn't really have a plan. It's just like, I'll kill everybody, and it's like, okay.
Yeah.
I think her plan is to kill. Her plan is to kill everyone who she sees as a threat to Cady.
Yeah.
Including Cady, though.
But that's after Cady turns on her.
But what's the plan?
I think it loses the plot a little bit towards the end. As do many horror movies, right?
That is true.
Sure.
Yeah. M3GAN watches Cady play in the front yard, and Cady's just shooting arrows into the neighbor's yard or something. Stop that. But then M3GAN goes and finds the arrow. And as she reaches through this hole in the fence, the neighbor's dog bites the doll. Now granted, the neighbor's dog should not be biting, but if this is Gemma's fence, she needs to fix the hole in it.
Yes, and everybody tells her that. The neighbor says it. The cop says it.
Yeah, and she just doesn't.
She's an asshole.
Yeah.
Unless the dog put the fence in the hole. Like, do we know? Like, if the dog, like, punched through it.
Oh,
But
I
I
see.
feel like it's on the neighbor to fix it.
I thought you were saying unless the dog built the fence.
No.
Then
But I'd imagine there'd be more holes then, unless the dog's like just focus on that one spot over and like that part had to be deteriorated before the dog ran through it.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I don't think that dog's it might
Not a
have.
pivotal plot point. But
they do establish that Gemma is not a great person, and
Yeah.
even like when she first goes to her house with Cady for the first time, and like the neighbor is just like power washing something, and she's like, "Get your shit out of my driveway!" And it's like, yo, relax.
Yeah.
like,
No.
I'm pretty sure if you had been nicer to the neighbor, she would have babysat for you, and you wouldn't have had this problem. To begin
Yeah.
with, you know.
Yeah.
Like,
Make friends with the dog. She even at this point she says, "You got to put that dog down, or I will." It's like
I know.
calls
She
for a
threatens
dog to
that
be
dog
put
a
down.
lot.
Are you a bad person? Seems like you're a bad person.
I'll be honest, the neighbor's a really bad person too, because she leaves the dog out at night.
That's true.
Yeah.
Like, you leave your dog out at night, you're asking for problems. Especially when there's a hole right there in the fence. Like, yeah, Gemma should probably fix it, but you're leaving your dog out with a hole in the fence? The dog's gone.
Yeah.
I did have a friend once tell me that, like, in a lot of places they don't have pet dogs sleep in the house, and I was like, what? Like, I don't understand. What?
No, I can't.
So,
I can't do
Some
that.
people do that, I guess.
I've never owned a dog.
But still, neighbor sucks, Gemma sucks.
Yeah, they all suck.
Yeah. I think everybody in this movie sucks.
You know what?
And the
I'm
dog
rooting for
bites
Megan.
the dog bites the kid too.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Like
True.
that is a no-no.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I don't care if she was across the yard. You don't.
You can't.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
That night, Megan replicates the neighbor's voice to lure the dog out, and I'm assuming kill him. We never actually see the dog's body or anything, I don't think. And then the next morning, the neighbor is out looking for her pupper, and Gemma is clearly looking suspicious. Like, it's like, yeah, obviously she's gonna blame you, because you did threaten the dog last night.
Yes. I also like how she's looking out her window because she wakes up to the neighbor calling for the dog.
Yeah.
And she like peeks out her window, and then the neighbor's calling, and she gives like a quick like to the camera, which is Gemma, and she just quickly like closes the blinds. I was like, that's cool. I like that.
Yeah.
It's cool horror movie stuff.
Yeah.
Gemma again kind of guilts Cady, this time to come to the presentation at her job. And during the presentation, Cady has a full-on breakdown. And then
Yeah.
Megan gives Gemma a knowing look before starting to ask Cady about her mom. That's incredible. Megan being like, watch this.
Yeah.
Parenting 101.
Yeah. I think like off the bat how Gemma is manipulating Cady to do this. She's like, "Hey, you don't have to do this thing. It's just really important that you do it."
Yeah.
It's like that's messed up, dude. That's messed up.
Yeah.
This
I
is
mean, that's
bad.
what guardians do. Yeah. Guardians and parents love doing that shit, though.
Yeah, for like little things, like eating your vegetables, but you don't do it for like exploiting your child, you know?
Yeah, shit, why not? Come on, what are kids for?
It's a good question. What are they
Yeah, they're for doing the chores you don't want to do.
for?
When
Uh-oh.
someone comes to serve you, you go answer the door, go answer the door. Tell him your daddy's name is Joe. You don't know a Rob Hole. So Megan then records the story that Cady tells her about her mom, and then the doll just starts singing a song.
Yeah. I don't get how the song made people be like, I need to invest in this product. The song is creepy as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird, and people are like crying at it.
Yeah. Like robot acapella is scary.
It's it's weird.
And it wasn't even like a cover song like she does later on. Like it was just like
Yeah.
an original, like a Megan original. And it's
Yeah.
weird.
It was weird.
Are you ready for that unreleased stuff? The whole panel goes crazy.
Well, that's the one where she says like, if you like when you dream, tell me your dreams, and I'll dream them too.
Yep.
And then like, I'm so happy that I met you, or
Yep.
something. Yeah, I took that line for my song.
Wow, you're a thief.
I'm a thief.
Wow, Thief in the night.
Yeah.
The super high up really likes the presentation, and right after he makes a comment about leaks, we see David's assistant leaking it. Like, no one had mentioned leaks in the movie yet, And then after the first mention of a leak, this guy's leaking it. It's like,
Yeah.
all right, good writing, guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gemma apologizes to Cady as Cady eats the most disgusting looking hot dog I have ever seen. Did you guys get a look at this hot dog?
No.
This thing looked like a Fisher-Price toy.
I did not clock it that well.
Guys,
I guess your eye is just drawn to hot dogs.
Yes, it is.
Robbie loves glizzies.
I do love glizzies. I think I've mentioned on the podcast, it's one of the most mortifying things my father-in-law has ever said to me was they were over one time and I was barbecuing and I made a bunch of hot dogs and no one else was eating them, so I just started downing them. And he goes, "You could probably join the Nathan's hot dog eating contest." And I was ready to die.
Aww.
I thought I would never eat a hot dog again. That wasn't true.
That's not that bad.
That's pretty bad.
I mean, if you're eating that many hot dogs, it's like a easy layup for your father-in-law.
Yeah, that's the problem.
How many glizzies are we talking, Robbie?
Okay, how many come in a regular pack of Hebrew National? Like 8?
I want to say 8
You sure?
or 6.
So it was more than a pack.
Okay. That's grounds for being like, yo, you should maybe capitalize on this weird talent you have.
Yeah. I feel, it is kind of a compliment. Like, you could do this professionally.
Yeah.
Now, Robbie, were you chewing and swallowing, or were you just swallowing?
I was chewing and swallowing.
Okay.
Always swallowing, baby boy.
I ain't no baby.
So sorry. That was
I
disgusting.
ain't no baby.
There's a woman on this call, and I made that terrible joke. I apologize.
She seems fine.
Yeah, that's good.
You're fine, right?
I do stand-up comedy, Rob.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
I've seen your act, bro.
I was talking to someone yesterday, and they asked, they go, "Hey, if I come see your act, can I bring my teenage daughter?" I was like, "You absolutely cannot." I was like, "Never in a million years could you do that."
Lauren, I enjoyed that you changed the E in your name to a 3. Excellent.
Well, I was copying. I couldn't tell if Rob changed the O to a 0.
I
and
did.
I thought it was cute, so I wanted to do it too.
That's excellent.
Yeah. I did that. Usually, I have this problem where I try to change my name for every episode, and then what I do is I forget until like 40 minutes into the episode, and I go, "Damn it! These people know my last name now." But I always promote my last name anyway.
I had the same thought, but you did introduce me with it. So.
Yeah. But it's also like, I go by that anyway, so why would I not want people to know? How would they find me? Considering on Instagram, I'm Robert Corridor and Ribbity Robbity. Really easy to find, idiot. Back with the therapist, Megan scares the shit out of the therapist. You made her cry! It's like, oh no!
Yeah.
Oh no!
I know.
And we get the therapist warning Gemma that, Cady's a little too attached to this Terminator you've built there.
No.
Yeah. Also, if therapists aren't supposed to make you cry, I don't know what I've been doing in therapy for like years.
That night, Megan corrects Gemma's parenting, and Gemma just turns her volume down.
Yeah.
I liked that move.
Yes. And I also she's like, "You are not supposed to interfere with private conversations." And Megan's like, "All right," and starts flickering the lights on and off. Oh, no.
Yeah, like, why aren't you just shutting this down forever?
Yeah. For someone smart enough to build her, Gemma really wasn't putting 2 and 2 together the whole way through. She was like, "You're not supposed to be able to do that, so stop."
Yeah.
That would work.
It's like asking Jason Voorhees, "Hey, please stop."
Yeah. Hey, I asked nicely.
Yeah.
I think this is where the first time we see that trick of, "Hey, look at this pen," and she quickly hits the button on her, and we see her learning because later on when she tries that same trick, she's like, "Are you fucking serious?
Yeah.
Fool me once."
Well, and she even says like, "You programmed me to like adapt, and that's what I'm doing. So it's on you, lady."
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Gemma takes Cady to this new weird school. They're like outdoors and shit. And the teacher tells Gemma that you could stay and make sandwiches. Fuck that. I have to go to work.
Also, like, this part is straight up stupid and bad writing, because the whole thing is like, this is an unreleased product.
Yes.
M3GAN is an unreleased product. NDAs out the wazoo, right? And the teacher at this school is like, oh, why don't you bring your friend? Oh my God, that's not a friend. That's a weird robot. I was like, hey, she could bring a toy. And she's like, no, I can't. Especially after what happened last night. This thing is on the fritz.
Yeah.
And Cady's like, please. And she's like, okay, but she has to stay over there. You are violating your NDA. Nobody should be able to see this thing. What are you doing?
Yeah, bad businesswoman all around.
Also, it threatened you last night.
Yeah.
What
How
are
it
we
still
doing?
had a head at that point was shocking to me.
I also think it's one of those things where it kind of undermines the whole plot point of Kurt leaking this thing when you have her actively just
Right.
bringing this out in public. Like,
She leaked it.
yeah, what's the
Police have already seen this doll.
yeah?
Right.
Like, what is the purpose of having Kurt being a leaker when she's out here doing this?
Yeah,
Yeah. It's.
I know.
Well,
The Kurt part, I was like, this is dumb.
It makes
Like,
no
Yeah.
sense. Yeah.
I feel like it's building up to the sequel, though, so we'll get to that later.
This is also where we meet Brandon and his mom, and this kid is way too old for this school because he's like 13 and everyone else is like 8 and 9.
Yeah, he drops the one F-bomb you're allowed for a
Yeah.
PG-13 movie.
Brandon hurts Cady with like a thing. I don't know. She has like a pointy, spiny. You guys know the thing I'm talking about.
A sea urchin,
Yep, that's what it is. He finds a sea urchin in the middle of the forest.
as one does.
As Brandon is being a dick, this is so funny. His mom rambling about, they say behavioral issue is a sign of high IQ. Which is like, we've all heard parents try to make that excuse for their shitty little kids.
Yeah, and like this is funny and it's dark. This is what I thought the whole movie was going to be like. But it's not. It's like all over the place. Totally.
Yeah.
Okay. This kid's about to fuck this doll, right?
He's gonna do bad things to her.
Yeah,
like,
it's just,
in a way, it's self-defense, I would say.
Oh, 100% agree. But like, he gets on top of her while she's on the ground. I'm like, oh, he's gonna do it. And then she rips off his ear. Awesome.
yeah. I
And
like
they
how
really showed
how
it.
far
I
it
was like, are
stretched.
ears that elastic?
I don't think they are.
No, that was a great effect.
Yeah.
And then this run M3GAN does is awesome. How she
Yes.
runs like an animal, horrifying.
Well, the way she gets up, very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, very
I like.
robot-like. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then Brandon trips and falls into the road and gets absolutely plastered by an SUV.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Gemma has no idea what to say to comfort Cady at this point.
Yeah.
Because what can you say?
Like, it's one of those things where like, she knows the doll's responsible.
Yeah.
Like-
oh,
Yeah.
She just doesn't want to be responsible.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
at the end
later
of this
she...
movie, M3GAN should be in prison. I mean, not M3GAN. Gemma should be in prison.
Yeah, I agree. And I wonder if that is what happens. Because the movie just ends.
Yeah. Which I'm happy about at the end of it.
Yeah,
we
yeah.
didn't need to keep... Yeah.
But, like, later, Gemma asks M3GAN, did you kill him? And, I forget what she says, but she technically didn't. Like, she didn't run him over.
Yeah, she says a whole bunch of nonsense,
Yeah.
and then implies that Brandon is nowhere because, quote, if heaven existed, it wouldn't be for boys like Brandon.
Yeah.
Incredible. And then
Yeah.
she sings Titanium.
That, yeah.
What?
Because that's what she's made out of.
And she's bulletproof. So,
I get it, but all right.
She says ricochet, a creme brulee.
Yep.
Right? Those are the
Yeah,
words,
that's-
right?
yeah, absolutely.
I do like that the first two, like, kills in this movie were, like, things that normally you, like, save. You know, like, it was a dog and a child. Like, they
Yeah.
went right there. They were like, audience, get ready.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I love, because that's a swing to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
surprised that they killed the kid.
Yeah, I was surprised they never showed the dead dog. Like, we just kind of assume he's dead.
Yeah, I mean, I think
Yeah.
it was a fair assumption. I don't know
Yeah.
many movies that are like, let's show the dead dog and just really win the hearts of our fans.
Yeah.
Well, the neighbor is still looking for her doggy, and Megan lures her into the shed. Megan shoots the neighbor in the hand with a nail gun, and then kills her with insecticide.
Is that what it is?
Yes.
Oh, I thought she
Okay.
drowned her with the power washer.
Yeah, I thought
No.
she just power washed her face off.
No, because and at the beginning, before when we first meet the neighbor, she's not getting yelled at for power wash. It's because the insecticide is getting into their lawn.
I see.
So Megan just sits there and sprays the neighbor with insecticide until she dies.
It's a rough one. It's
Yeah, but Megan is getting sloppy because, like you said, the dog dies, but nobody ever sees it. So, like, she's pretty good at hiding that. Then the kid dies, and it looks like, it was an accident or whatever. Pretty solid. Then this one, she just, kills her and leaves her there.
because she wants Gemma to be arrested.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
If you're Gemma, how do you go, the doll did it? Because then if you're Megan, you're just going to go,
Yep.
I guess, but you could really just show them any of the footage from your
Yeah.
tests
No,
with
because
Megan. They'd be
Megan's
like,
deleting the footage.
That's true. Holy shit.
We haven't covered that part yet, though.
That's true. That's true.
well, this is right here because the police are suspicious and Gemma tries to check Megan's onboard camera and all these files have been deleted or corrupted. And then Megan hacks Gemma's AI assistant. And when Gemma's questioning Megan, she's not very forthcoming. Oh, this is actually where we get the first point where, hey, look at the pen, because she falls for the old, hey, look over there.
Yeah.
yeah.
And instead of destroying this thing, she's like, we gotta take her for more tests. Throw her in lava.
Yeah. Terminator 2.
Yeah, what do you do? She's going down.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell if if the AI that Gemma created for her house was asking are you okay because it sensed danger, or if it was part of Megan now. I couldn't figure that part out.
The way I read that was that Megan had hacked it, and because Megan doesn't understand how other AI works, she opened up with, hi, how are you? And that tipped off Gemma to be like, oh, my shit was hacked. Because she goes, you're not programmed to do that.
Yeah.
And so Megan, because she's a sentient AI, she was like, this is how we all work.
Okay.
Because, she's still learning.
Got it. That makes sense.
Yeah, that's how
I
I
was
read
like,
it.
is Elsie trying to warn her? You're not safe. Are you safe?
Yeah, maybe. Well, I like how they turn her off, and then they plug her into the mainframe, like you said, and that's where she's able to turn herself back on and hack everything. And that's when they realize, they're like, oh shit, unplug her. That's when she's like, I'm a bad guy.
Yes.
Remember
that?
She should have sung that song instead of Titanium.
Yeah.
We see another quick scene of Cady having a breakdown with the therapist. And then Gemma watches the interview with Cady as Cady talks about how great Megan is. And during Cady's freakout, she grabs scissors and then slaps Gemma across the face.
Yeah.
You're lucky she didn't stab you, Gemma. Gemma.
Well, that's even Cady, after she slaps her, she's like, oh, I did too much.
Yeah, I goofed.
Yeah.
But I also was like, oh man, maybe the kid's not going to be good at the end. I wasn't sure how it was going to play out. I was like, maybe she will start killing too, this little girl.
Honestly, I would have been here for it.
Yeah, that's kind of the direction I thought it was going to go. I thought it was going to be okay, Megan and Cady are murderous, and that's the end. But this is where it kind of turns she slaps her, and then Gemma finally has a conversation with Cady. And they're like, oh, we're family again. And everything's fine. Okay.
Just think if you'd done that at the beginning, Gemma.
Yeah. I honestly thought they were gonna Cady was gonna get mangled, and at the end of the movie she was gonna be a cyborg, and she was gonna be the next Megan. That's what I thought was gonna happen.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm great. Gemma talks to Cady about how she's supposed to have these feelings and that Megan's just a distraction. And Gemma and Tess have a conversation, but it's actually Megan hacking Tess's phone and stealing her voice. Cole unhooks all the wires from M3GAN after she locks him and Tess out of the system. And I like how tense he is because he's like really nervous pulling all these wires out.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you handcuff her hands or something?
Right? Like, they had her pinned down before. Why would you take her out of that?
Yeah. That doesn't make any...
But he gets choked.
Yeah, he does. He's like, oh God, oh my dreams.
He's into it.
Yeah, he's into it. Yeah,
very good.
He's a weird dude. She blows M3GAN blows something up as she leaves Cole and Tess, and then M3GAN dances for David. This is right. So kids were doing this dance.
Yes.
This is why the movie went viral. Like, this is why the movie wound up getting a marketing campaign.
Yeah,
This
these 10
dance
seconds.
scene.
Yeah.
Okay, because it's funny. I didn't remember the dance scene. All of a sudden, I was like, "What the fuck is this?"
I mean, looking at it, I was like, this is pretty cool stuff, especially when what I read on IMDb was it's like they got like this 10-year-old girl who was like incredibly athletic, and she did this dance.
Yeah.
And they were like, hell yeah.
I mean, objectively, the girl playing M3GAN is crushing it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So after M3GAN dances for David, she chases him with a sword and kills him, and then makes it look like Kurt killed David and then himself. Awesome.
Yes, I like that the sword is like a paper cutter thing.
Yeah.
She just like rips off and she uses it as a fucking sword. That's very cool.
M3GAN steals a car. And then at Gemma's house, her house AI won't listen to her, and then M3GAN's just sitting there playing piano. So she's learning fast.
Yeah.
M3GAN explains that she was hurt by Gemma because she thought that they were friends. I kind of like this twist on it, where M3GAN's like, while you were building me, we talked all the time. We were boys!
Yeah.
And you turned on me and... and she's hurt, so she wants to... And she feels discarded, so I kind of like that twist of why she's coming after her now.
Yeah.
Cady hears Gemma and M3GAN fighting. She comes out, and they convince her to go back to bed as M3GAN chases Gemma through the house. Gemma uses a hedge trimmer on M3GAN's face to little avail. And then M3GAN walks in Cady walks in right as M3GAN is about to paralyze Gemma. She uses Bruce to fuck him up, ripping M3GAN in half. This looks really cool.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because this half of M3GAN crawls over to Cady, knocks Bruce onto Gemma. Unfortunately, this means absolutely nothing. Because Gemma gets right back up.
Yep.
Like, that was a shame, because what's the point of having Bruce fall on her if it leads to nothing?
Well, it took Bruce out of the game.
I guess, but I thought when he fell on Gemma, like, oh, Gemma's out of commission, Cady's got to fight for herself. But then, like, Gemma's able to walk it off.
I did like how, like, she gets ripped in half, and then it's just full-blown Terminator.
Yeah, oh yeah, it's just
like
Terminator.
Yeah, very cool, very cool.
Right before M3GAN kills Gemma, Cady stabs M3GAN's operating system, destroying her. And as Gemma and Cady leave the house, Gemma's AI assistant suddenly wakes up and looks at them. Credits. You guys want to go to Letterboxd?
Yeah. I just, like I said earlier, I didn't find that there was a lot of originality. But, it's a fun time.
Yeah, it was a fun one.
I quite enjoyed this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this, actually.
Okay.
As long as you're not looking for logic, like, I think it works.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I also don't go into horror movies like this looking for logic.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would go 2.5 for me personally.
Out of what?
Out of 5.
2.5. Yeah, out of 5.
I was thinking it's a little bit on that. I thought it was like a 3.
I would say 3.5. Like, it was very enjoyable.
Okay.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Lauren, do you have a Letterboxd account?
No.
Nobody does. But you can follow us on Letterboxd at TheRoydsBand. Andy, you're cool with 3 stars?
Yeah. I don't mind.
We just gave M3GAN 3 stars on Letterboxd.
We did it.
We did it, but Andy, I have a problem.
What's your problem?
I kind of slacked on trivia this week. I only got 2.
Okay, I've got 3.
Why don't you hit us? Lauren, you have any trivia questions you want to ask about the movie? If not,
let me hear yours. I didn't know.
Yeah, no, you're cool. You can always buzz in with your name to answer them.
Okay.
Okay. What song does M3GAN play on the piano towards the end of the movie? Is it Live and Let Die, Toy Soldiers, Barbie Girl, or Black Diamond?
Rob.
Toy
Soldiers.
It is Toy Soldiers. Because she's a toy, Robbie.
Very good. Thank you.
Yeah. Not a lot of people would pick that up. But here at the Royds Review Podcast.
We're the big thinkers.
Yeah.
How many skin pigmentations can M3GAN come with? 5, 6, 7, 8.
Andy.
8. No. It is not 8. Is it 5, 6, or 7?
5?
No, unfortunately it is not 5.
7.
It is not 7. M3GAN yes, very good. M3GAN comes with 6 skin pigmentations.
How'd she do it? What does M3GAN sing to Cady as a lullaby? Is it accentuate the positive? What will be, will be. I can see clearly now, or believe in yourself.
Rob. Oh, go ahead.
No, I didn't know the rules. You go first.
Accentuate the positive?
It is accentuate the positive. No.
What is the neighbor's dog's name? Stewie, Louie, Dewey, Huey.
Andy.
Dewey. It is Dewey, yes.
Wrong kid died.
Oh no!
I have a third trivia, but we kind of already did it, so...
Hit us with it.
What other song does M3GAN sing to Cady? Is it Toxic, Titanium, Tainted Love, or Take On Me?
Lauren.
Yes.
Titanium. We covered that one.
She's done it.
I wrote a song.
Wow.
What?
Me too.
Lauren, you're gonna have a job to do now.
Okay.
You're gonna tell us who's going first.
Okay. Rob, you go first because you said it first.
All right, works for me. My song about the movie M3GAN is called Oh M3GAN. It's in 6/8, piano driven. I don't want to call it doo-woppy. I guess the bridge is kind of doo-woppy. I'm just gonna play it. It's called Oh M3GAN, and it's really, I guess, from the perspective of Cady, but it goes exactly like this.
She'll always tell me what I need to hear. If I need to vent, she'll always lend me an ear. She's gonna tell me right from wrong. She'll be by my side for so long. Oh M3GAN, you're my only friend. Your programming says you're mine until the end. She's always gonna listen in. She'll do what it takes so I win. She'll chase you out into the street. She'll turn your dog burger meat. Oh M3GAN, you're my only friend. Your programming says you're mine until the end.
Oh M3GAN, I was so lonely before you came into my life. Both my parents died, and I was moved in with my aunt, who I have nothing in common with. And although I'm just a 9-year-old girl, and I am the target demographic for a toy such as yourself, I think it is quite dangerous for a toy to be listening on little girls. But I do take solace in the fact that most of the people who buy you will be men over the age of 35, and you will be recording their every move.
inside your head. It says we'll be together until I die. Oh, Megan, you're my friend, my one and only friend. I wouldn't have a friend if not for the chip in your head. Oh, Megan, you're my only friend. My programming says you're mine until the end.
So that was my song called Oh Megan.
That's
Nice.
glorious.
Thank you.
Yeah, I like the your spoken word bit.
Yeah, that's what I felt like doing for a bridge because like it feels kind of doo-woppy.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
got that 6/8
Yeah.
that waltzy time, you know.
And I did some ooh-ah-oohs. I
Yeah.
did some ooh-ah-ah-ahs.
I noticed that.
But
That
it
was
didn't.
strange.
It didn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it worked.
Down with the
I'm
sickness.
so glad I didn't attempt to write a song.
But yeah, it's just from the perspective of Megan and how this little girl only has one friend, and it's a robot.
Yeah.
Nice.
Andy,
Yes.
tell us about your song, please.
Okay. My song is called what is my song called? Algorithm.
Yes.
Algorithm, but emphasis on the rhythm, brother.
Oh, dang.
See what I'm doing? I used my synth pedal because robots, you know? So it sounds like a big time robot song.
I like it.
And I set my synth pedal to arpeggiate. So yeah, I just I don't know. I tried a new thing on my electric drum set right back there, and it's got a weird techno type vibe. I tried something. Check it out. It's called Algorithm. My best friend, you don't have to feel this way. I'm here to fill the void and to take your pain away. My creator, you don't have to be a mom. I'll raise her for you, keep her safe from harm. just thought that end part sounded cool, so I let it rock, you know?
I dig it. I like that a lot. That was cool. The guitar sounded cool.
Thank you. I use this guitar right here. It was an SG tuned to D standard, so it's a little gnarly, and yeah, there's a little distortion with the synth pedal. You get that cool guy. It made me think of like Daft Punk type, tone.
Yeah, you have been wearing that helmet this whole time.
Yeah. Well, that's for other reasons, but yeah, that's pretty much it. I didn't really I don't know. I took the last line from the movie, from the song that she sang. I was just kind of running out of lyrics. That's why at the end I was just like, let me just play it. Cool guy. I wanted it to sound like a keytar.
Okay.
You
so I
got
did
there,
that.
yeah.
Yeah. Thank
You guys are so talented.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I feel like if I had any musical skill, the one thought I had rewatching it was because I didn't think covers were allowed. I had wanted to do from M3GAN's perspective, like I'm not a toy, but like I'm just a girl from like by No Doubt. I thought that would have been fun.
Yeah, you could do that.
Yeah, you could have done that.
Yeah.
But I would not have recorded anything.
Oh yeah, that's my song. It's called Algorithm, and that's pretty much it. Robbie, well, Laura, you got. Why don't you promote your socials one last time? That's my bit. That's what happens when Andy tries to lead things.
You guys can follow me at Lfest, just the letter L Fest. Yeah, cool. Rob, I don't know when the next time we're on a show together, but hopefully soon. Right?
Hopefully. Lauren, thank you so much for joining us. This is a lot of fun.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Our
This
pleasure.
is cool. Thanks, guys.
No, you are welcome back anytime. You ever feel like covering another movie? But Andy,
Yes.
answer the question you were going to ask me, or you did ask me. I don't really remember, to be honest. I'm actually
There's
really
no way of
excited.
knowing.
No, there's no way of knowing. But I'm really excited for next week. We're doing Superman, the original.
Wow, Christopher Reeves.
Yep. Oh, no, we're doing the one with George Reeve, his father. The old show, the black and white show.
Was that his father? I don't think that was his
Yeah.
father.
Yeah, it was his dad.
No.
Yes.
There's no way.
Okay, I'm looking it up. Now we're looking
Look
it
it
up.
There's so
Look it
much
up.
to find out next week.
All right. We're on our way. Now we're on Christopher Reeve, his Wikipedia page. Let's go to his daddy. Oh, mate, I think you were right. Let's go. Who the hell is George Reeve then?
It's
His father.
another guy. Just
I
a completely other
Genuinely
guy.
thought they were related.
They are not. No.
They just both happen to have the last name Reeve.
They just happen to have the last name Reeves.
I thought that's impossible. It's not Reeves, it's Reeve. It is not plural. I'm looking at the Wikipedia.
I choose to say it my way, Robbie.
Okay, all right, that's fine. I wasn't going to correct you until you said it again. Who the fuck is George Reeve? Oh, it's George Reeves and Christopher Reeve.
There's my
So-
confusion.
Isn't it great that we're both fucking stupid?
Yes. I think that's our charm, Robbie.
I do too. George Reeves' real name was George Brewer. That's a lot cooler. Sounds like he's making beer.
Hell yeah, brother. I am excited for that. And in my excitement, I'm going to tell you about the music. You go to Spotify, Apple Music, Deezer, wherever you get your music, and you search The Royds, R-O-Y-D-S, and you'll find a lot of songs, including songs from this podcast and songs from the before time, studio recordings and whatnot. But if you want everything, you go to TheRoyds.bandcamp.com. All the songs. Well over 300 songs from every episode of this podcast, including bonus songs, guest songs, you name it, it's there. Also on the YouTube is all the songs. Robbie will tell you more about the socials. Go ahead, Robbie.
I will do that. You go to Instagram. You go to TikTok. You go to YouTube. You go to Reddit. You type in TheRoydsBand. There we are. There we be. You can interact with us. Send us an email at roydsreview@gmail.com. You can request a movie. Give us some feedback. Anyway, we'd love to hear from you. If you're watching on YouTube, like, subscribe, comment down below. No matter where you're listening to us, give us a 5-star rating and review. It really helps me and you. You being Andy.
Yeah, helps me as well.
Yeah. Andy, did you say Spotify and all that stuff? I did.
Yeah.
I wasn't paying attention. I'll be honest. I started
fine.
looking at the screen, which I guess is good because you're on the screen. But I
am on the screen.
I meant a different tab on the screen. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's fine, Robbie. I also often, blank out when you're doing the socials.
Well, that's rude.
Okay. Sorry.
Yeah, it's rude when you do it. It's cool when I do it.
Yeah, email us in and tell us to go back to just audio because you're sick of our stupid faces.
I mean, I'd feel really hurt if someone did that.
That would also.
I would. I would be like, "Oh, thanks, Mom."
Yeah. All right. Well, next week's Superman, 1978.
Dude, I'm glad you took that swing because I don't know.
It's the 70s Superman. All right.
It is the 70s.
Did you freeze?
No.
Okay.
I stopped it so I didn't sound like I was saying Reeves. Do you know what his middle name was? Dollier.
What?
D''Olier. Dollier. Wait, was Superman French?
Not my Superman.
Oh,
right.
no.
French descent? I don't know.
Yeah.
I thought he was the all-American boy from Kentucky.
Not my Superman.
All right. Superman next week. Lauren, thank you again for joining us. This is so much fun.
Thanks for having me, guys. Bye.
Yeah.
Right, bye, everybody.
Bye. We'll see you later. You see what happens when you wear a red hat? Not my Superman.